Today I'd like to share a little bit more on a personal level. Very spontaneous. I just read that, I guess specifically Americans, but modern man through his distorted educational system has taught people to be ignorant and to fail to distinguish between thoughts and feelings. Feelings. Today, and actually this past week, I've had a lesson, a lot of crying. My sister died last week. Not sure what she died of. Cancer, chemotherapy, or radiation therapy. Can't tell. Very difficult to distinguish. And in talking to my mother after my sister passed away, just listening for a second had my heart exploding open, feeling what my mother was going through. It was very sad that the second time I talked to her, the feelings were gone and rational thought had reasserted itself. I asked my mom when sitting, Shiva, my family's Jewish, whether anybody was crying, whether she was crying. When the rabbi came, was there any tears? And she said no. It surprised me a little bit. There's a whole universe of things happening on our planet right now that we could cry about. I'm certainly feeling it very intensely. It seems like the whole world is about to explode, and the divisions that separate mankind from each other are growing. The right, the left. The extreme right and the extreme left are very violent. The violence in the middle, which include the extreme right and extreme left. Let's talk about what lies in the middle that every branch of thought embraces at this point. Medicine, chemotherapy, radiation therapy, vaccines. Is there any difference between the left and the right on vaccines? No. It's universally accepted, not by all of humanity, but by the mainstream official authorities of the world in every country. Right, left, center, is accepted. Truth, whether it's true or not, doesn't matter. And this is how we are on a whole broad battery of issues. What is the truth, and does anybody even care anymore? Is chemotherapy something that causes cancer? The ultimate, forever cure, answer for cancer? Or radiation therapy, which have hundreds of billions of dollars in the United States alone invested in equipment to radiate people? Is this the ultimate truth? Is it any place to evolve in medicine beyond that? Well, the right and left have nothing to say about this. Nothing. We have on our planet that is in self-destruct mode. We've always been a violent race. And now even our doctors are very violent. But you won't hear that in the press. But you will see Dr. Paul Offit, the #1 proponent of vaccines in the world, say on a video that vaccination is a violent act. He says, holding down children while injecting 5 injections into them of biochemical substances that they are not, this is against their will, is violent. He also said in another video that we cannot say that the MMR vaccine does not cause autism. if our vaccines are violent and the administration of them, chemotherapy, violent toxicity, radiation, the death principle, death. But where you're going to find the politicians on the left or right confronting this? No. This is where globalization already exists. Modern medicine is a globalized paradigm. So, though I'm not shedding any tears, I would like to. And someday I will, on camera. My consciousness is wrapped, my work these last 15 years is not just medicine, but looking at everything, reading everything that's happening in many fields. Some I've just dropped because of what's now going on. Talking about the migrant, the Muslim invasion of Europe, and the rapes and the crime got too much. And yet now that situation, these things, since Trump was elected, these are all on the table. How do we approach life? On the left, they like to approach it on the ideal level. Communism, socialism, the group good. There's a nice idea that never worked. Churchill said that fascism is the appropriate response to communism. These are very big things playing out. Now we don't call it communism, we call it globalism. Absolute control. I'm not looking forward to these next months and years as the crisis in the world just increases. It's difficult, it's painful, and it could make the strongest people insecure.